as individuals, we possess core values, like we possess values. I would love to ask that, how does this value set you apart from others?
Well, from the word go, my campaign mantra is on a better deal, and it also translates into my core value, because we are in politics because of the empathy we have to serve the people. Because if you don't have empathy is the first thing you need to have as a person, as your own core value, before you can decide and say you want to show love or you want to serve the people. So that is why you see someone like me. I said I am going to offer and hand my people better deal in this election. And in the better deal, I am going into a legislative assignment. No, I am not going to have executive power, but as it is, I am going to use my wealth of experience to join other eminent Nigerians who are passionate, who have empathy for our people, to legislate, to bring about bills that will have direct impact and change the lot of our people in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. So the constituency you hope to represent is one of the largest in the states, with about 1.6 million people.
Okay.
And they are faced with peculiar problems, right? So your representation in the House, how do you think you could offer solutions to the problem?
Of course, before I came out, where I live in this constituency, and I'm part of the constituency, and I know what peculiar problems we have in that constituency, and we in a way we are very, very aback when it comes to development. When we talk about girl child's education, when we talk about health care, these are problems we have in the constituency. And how do I mean that I want to ameliorate and help solve part of this problem? Is because, one, I am an influential person. I will use my influence, being a legislator, be a member of House of Representatives. I will use that my influence to lobby the state government, not only the federal government. I will lobby the state government so that there can be allocation of projects to my constituency, and also I will also ensure that we have better deal in terms of what we are going to be legislating in Abuja. Okay, like I spoke about girl child's education, which is a bigger problem we have in the constituency. You see a lot of out of school children roaming about the street. If we legislate that there must be compulsory education for children under a certain age, especially those in the pre and primary school, that the public school we have, that we have to legislate in such a way that they will bring it up to standard. That is why you see a lot of them, they are not encouraged to go to these schools. Yeah, but by the time we come up with laws that will inject some funds to make these schools to be developed to standard that will attract people, yeah, it will solve problems. A lot of people will begin to enroll, and it will be free education for our children. Both boys and girls, they will begin to enroll, they will go to school. Then in terms of healthcare, you see what we have currently is, you just see politicians, they say they want to build a primary healthcare center. They just build blocks, paint it, they commission it, but they don't put equipment in these places for people to come and benefit. I'm going to do it differently, because we have what we call constituency projects and allowance, that is due for my constituency. We are going to ensure that these things are done, and not just to build blocks. We are going to ensure that we have equipment and qualify medical personnel that will be manning this primary healthcare center. That children, they go there for immunization. Women that want to give birth, they go there, they give birth without having to go through a private hospital that they have to spend exorbitant. Of course, most of these people don't even have money to pay for private hospital. So these are areas we are going to really concentrate our constituency project on, and also legislate to make sure that funding comes to my constituency so that my people can benefit directly. And we have reduction in deaths of maternal death rates. We have a reduction in out-of-school children, that people will now begin to go to school. If you look at these areas, you will find out that we have a lot of restiveness in this area, because right from the time these children are growing up, some of them they don't go to school because they cannot afford it, and there's no compulsory law that takes them out of the street and take them to school. So they grow like that, and they become who they become. And they just like the popular saying that an idle hand is the devil's workshop. But we try as much as we can that when we come in, we will reduce this by making sure that we have compulsory school for our pupils, and also primary health center to take care of their health.
Yeah. So moving on, you made mention of other politicians. So I would love to ask, are you, or would you classify yourself to be a politician?
Well, really, I cannot say I am a politician, but what we are doing is the business of politics. I'm a technocrat because I have my 9 to, I have a second address. Okay, so the politician, they are just there to play politics 365 days a year, 4 years, every 4 years, so they revolve. Yeah, but it's not a problem. Yeah, some people must always fill the gap. Some people must always take responsibility for party activities and things like that. But people like us, we are going to complement what they are doing. Yeah, we're going to complement what the politicians are doing, so that by the time some of us will go into the National Assembly, we will create the change that is needed to complement the effort of the politician. Because I must not lie to you, politics will be played by politicians, and politicians are the bedrock of what we are doing right now. Without politicians, we won't be here. But we will only just go in there to complement what they have done, and effect the changes where we need to effect the changes, so that we can have a better constituency in Oshodi Federal Constituency too.
Yeah, thank you. To note, in the last 5 years, you have traversed between PDP, ADP, and back to PDP. So I will ask, is there any ideology behind this movement, and knowing fully well that the new Electoral Act forbids it for elected officials? Well,
I have not been elected under any party. I was a member of PDP, and at some point in time I defected, or I joined ADP, where I served as a state public secretary in Lagos State, Nigeria, and became the national public secretary in Nigeria. Okay, it's a party position, it's not elective, it's not a democratic elected position. Okay, so and as at today, except we want to deceive ourselves, sometimes it's always good for you to give a trial to something to see if changes could happen there. But if you try and that change didn't actually come the way you expect, okay, and politics, winning election and all of this we are doing is all about structure. Yeah, so the structure, then we try our own best at that time. Now, it is a new thing that I want to do. Yeah, I feel that, okay, under PDP, I stand a better chance, okay, and for the fact that PDP was my party, yeah, was my home. So it's like a homecoming for me to return back to PDP. So it's not a problem. It's not there's no issue in it that I was in PDP, I came to ADP, then from ADP, I came back to PDP. But for me, despite that, there are some parties that I cannot join, yeah, because of the way they do their thing. Nigerians, they love PDP. PDP is a golden bride, yeah, beautiful bride for them at this time, because we know the way things were done, prior to 2015, and we know the way things are being done as at this between 2015 as we speak. So if anybody that is interested in joining those who change the lot of this country, want to join any political party, I can tell you it is only PDP that can make all of those things to happen. So that is why you see me, I came back to PDP, because I believe in PDP, and I know that PDP will take us to the desired destination as Nigerian people, and that is why I am running under PDP.
Okay, that's a great one. So your social media bio reads that you're a real estate developer. That means you have a full knowledge of the housing sector and you're a big player of the housing sector. So I will ask, so for you're representing or you hope to represent the Oshodi Solo constituency too, what will your representation hope to offer concerning the housing sector in Oshodi Solo and in Nigeria at large?
Well, we are hoping by the special grace of God we get into the National Assembly. Of course, we know that we have a lot of housing deficits in Nigeria, and the best we can do is, because of my wealth of experience in the sector, what we can do is to ensure that we legislate some bills that will help Nigeria. Not just, I don't want to start talking about affordable mass housing, because all of those things, it is just for the media. The main problem, we need to go back as legislator to solve the problem. The problems are the cost of building materials. For instance, now as of today, Dangote cement is sold for 4,000 naira. And we know how much this cement is sold some years ago. 11, 10 mm, 12 mm iron rods that we use for construction, we know how much those things have been sold several years back. We know how much they are being sold now. So until when we are able to come up with laws that can make Ajaokuta to become effective, that will begin to produce iron ore there, and we also legislate that the cement manufacturers, they come up with the best cost effective material to ensure that a lot of Nigerians can have access to building their own home. And also, in addition, is that we can also legislate that and say, okay, yeah, we want to have affordable mass housing. After we have solved the main problem, which is cost of building materials, then we now come back and say we want to legislate that maybe for every of the 36 states and the FCT, we can say we can work with the executive and say we want to build maybe 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 housing to help solve the problem of housing deficit we have in the country. So that is where my experience will come in. Then also land administration, because we have problem in land administration, land use charge, and a whole lot of problems that revolve around property development in the country. Recently, I'm sure you as media people, you knew what happened at Magodo. Those are the issues that we in the real estate we are combated with every day. So we have to also use our experience in this field to make sure that we resolve such matters when we come into the National Assembly.
Oh, great. So the constituency you hope to represent in the House is known to be one of the most notorious cities in Lagos State, and knowing fully well that insecurity is an issue that Nigeria as a country is facing. So hopefully you get a seat in the House, what solutions will you prefer to insecurity?
Well, like I've said before, that one of the things we want to do is to catch them young, to train these children in to give them better education. You see, most of these guys you see doing all what they're doing today is as a result of misinformation. You see, lack of better orientation, lack of education that is driving most of them to join cultism, to join gangsterism and all sort of social vices you see them do today. So we are going to work on bills that will enhance security, really, because we keep talking about allocating funds for purchase of equipment. Then we are still not solving the problems. What are the problems? Remuneration for our security officers. What do we pay them? For instance, we have maybe gang work or whatever now. They now call security. When they come there, they first look at their life. They first look at that they want to protect their life. Then they put the law for the country, they put it aside. Their patriotism, they put it aside because they don't get better deal. So, but by the time we come up with bills that will take care of the welfare of our security officers, they will do their job very well. Before any gang war or whatsoever social vices happen, there must be people, there must be plans here and there. Then, what is the level of our intelligent gathering mechanism we have? Is near to zero. So it is not when the problem started, it is when, before the problem starts, you should be able to nip it in the bud so that they don't have. So these are things that we are going to inculcate into bills that we are going to bring, that a better security architecture. In America, you see gang war, it happens all over the world, but sometimes it's higher here because the security network is not the way it should be. I want to cast your mind back to when I was in Unilag. We have DSS all over the campus. You see them, you even feel that some of them are students, and they are not students, because they want to hear, they want to gather information, they want to know what is happening, so that they will be able to stop cultism on campus, and these things are working. So the same thing in the larger society, in the constituency, we could build our security architecture in such formation that before any gang war or any notorious activities happen in the constituency, the security operatives are abreast of that, then they will know what to do to ensure that it does not happen. So these are things that we are going to be proposing. These are bills that we are going to legislating, that the welfare of our security. Then equipment, you see a lot of them. You see the way they dress, you see the way the boots and the shoe and the clothes and everything. Even their gun is, a gun that is not effective. So these are things that we are going to be legislating when we get into the house, that we can have enhanced security system in the country.
Oh, that was a great one. So the earnings of the National Assembly has been questioned by people, groups, organizations, generally the cost of governance. So can we look forward to you being a voice to change that reality for our people?
Of course, I'm going into National Assembly. Like I said before, I have a second address. I am not going there because I want to go make money. I'm going there because I want to give my people a better deal. Of course, I am also going to contribute to the country at large, because I am not only going to be going there to support bills that has to do with my constituency. I'm going to do with bills that will have effect on the generality of Nigeria and our people. Now, what do I mean by that? When we get there, because right now I cannot, if I tell you about their remuneration or salary or what they earn now, I will be unfair. Until when I get in there, we see what they are earning. If it is justifiable, then we tell Nigerians. If it's not justifiable, we will tell Nigerians, and I will also work with like minds in the National Assembly that can affect the change, because politics is a game of number. When you get there, you find out that it is either aye or nay. Okay, but the voice of change in the National Assembly can actually supersede the number and affect the change by working with the Nigerian people. Because if I get in there and we discover that a lot of things are not the way they should be, we are going to also mobilize Nigerian people and ensure that we affect the change.
Okay, that was great. So now let's talk about the cost of the nomination forms. How do you intend to fund or seek funds for your nomination, to buy your nomination form and to run your campaign?
Of course, we have gone past the stage of nomination.
Okay.
We have gone past the stage of nomination. Right now, we have purchased our form. Today, we are doing our screening. We are doing our screening today.
Okay.
We are doing screening today. What we are doing here is screening, and to run my campaign, of course, I have the little I have. I'm running my campaign with, and also getting support from the people of a good conscience who sees what we are doing as genuine, and they are dropping their window minds. Of course, by the time we pass this stage of primary elections, we will reach out to Nigerian people, and I'll reach out to people in my constituency and explain to them why they need to support me, so that we can run the campaign and they win the election.
You know fully well you have other parties you'll be contesting against. Okay. So how do you intend to win the APC, who is like a major competitor to the PDP in your constituency?
Well, the truth of the matter is that my constituency is a PDP stronghold. Oshodi Solo is a PDP stronghold, and I'll say it again, and I'm glad and I'm proud to say it. And this election is for PDP to win. And as it is, as of today, I'm the most popular candidate in the election, and looking at is all about products. Okay, our own products, and our own party is what people want. So it is just for us to go out there and go and tell people what we want to do. And of course, we've been telling people in our party what we want to do, and people are keen into our vision. So getting out there to go and tell people what we want to do won't be a problem for us, because we know people are already waiting for us to come, because they have experienced APC, they are tired, they don't want APC. So PDP is not just about they don't want APC, because we have a better deal to offer to them, so they are waiting for us. So we are going to win the election.